How's it going, everyone? It is Mr. M, and today I have kind of a track review, but it's also going to be this rambling, venting kind of thing, probably, because I do have a lot on my mind to say right now. Over the last 3 to 4 days, and maybe even up to the last week, there have been all sorts of teasers, from flyers being handed out to billboards all up and down the coast of California, to a new social media account being made. And today we got the official announcement of a stadium tour that is going to be taking place next summer, called the Hella Mega Tour, between Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and the Interrupters as an opening band. And of course, I am super excited for this tour. You know, if you've been around this channel long enough, if you know me enough, you know Green Day is my favorite band of all time. I fucking love them. I've seen them twice. Both times are actually on their last album cycle. And they just put on a great show overall. Regardless of whether you think they're punk or not, I don't care. To me, they're just a really great band, and I fucking love them. And like I said, it's a summer tour, and they're not coming to Colorado until the end of July next year, so it's going to be like 10 or 11 months before I even get to see them. But to know that I'm going to be able to see them in the near future makes me super happy. Fall Out Boy and Weezer I don't really care about too much, and I know a lot of people aren't going to care about them anyway, but the Interrupters, which is the opening band, like I said, I've wanted to see them for a while, and I've just never been able to, and now I'm going to be able to, and it makes me super happy to not only see Green Day again, but finally get to see the Interrupters. Along with the tour being announced today, all three of the bands, not the Interrupters, all three of the bands that make up the Hella Mega Tour, they've released new songs, and Green Day and Weezer announced new albums, and Fall Out Boy announced a new greatest hits album. Weezer, of the three, I think that their song is the best. It's super guitar driven. They have a guitar tapping intro, and I was watching Infinity on Hannah's video, link to her channel in the description, and I agree with her. She said that if Weezer was to open their set with that song, it would be a great start, and I totally agree. You know, just the way it opens with the tapping and how the song ends up kicking in after that, I think it would be a great opening to their set. Not really going to compare it to anything, because of the three bands, I listen to Weezer the least, so I don't want to give some comparison and then have someone come at me because I made a shitty comparison. Fall Out Boy, Mania, their previous album, fucking sucked. This new song doesn't really have much of an influence from that album. It's obviously still there, but this song reminds me a lot more of their previous work. They're more pop punk guitar driven stuff. Mania I felt was like primarily a more pop driven album, and this song is more rock driven as opposed to what was on Mania. And Fall Out Boy I listen to more just because they're on the radio more. The radio station that we listen to at work plays like 90s and 2000 hits, and Fall Out Boy is on there more than Green Day or Weezer, even though they've been around less than either of those bands. And then Green Day, the band I want to talk about most, because I love them and I know their discography so well. They have a new album coming out called Father of All Motherfuckers, and the song that they released today is the title track and is also the opening song for the album. Musically, structurally, it kind of reminds me more structurally of the song like Back in the USA, which was on their greatest hits album that came out in 2017. Technically a B-side to Revolution Radio, which is their previous record. But structurally it's kind of like that. It's super short. There isn't really anything outside of like verse, chorus, verse, bridge. Musically it reminds me a lot of Revolution Radio, as well as some of the trilogy stuff which came before Revolution Radio. And the guitar solo in it, it's not super wanky or anything, but it reminds me of the Foxborough Hot Tubs, which was Green Day's side project that they did with all three of their members and two of their touring members in 2008. It's just a super old school sounding guitar solo. Again, nothing too wanky, it's just a few notes and it's not even very long. But musically, I think it's a great song. Vocally, though, fucking hell. I feel like their singer got kicked in the dick before going in the vocal booth. Like, his voice is so high, he does not sound like himself except for the end of the chorus. And it's hard for me to get behind that, and I'm just really hoping he doesn't sound like that the entire album. So like I say, it doesn't sound like himself, and if I didn't know better, and if I wasn't such a huge fan of Green Day, I should put it, and I didn't know Revolution Radio or the Trilogy or the Foxborough Hot Tubs, you know, I probably wouldn't have even guessed it was Green Day. You know, it's a pretty short album from what I'm hearing too. I know that the band did an interview with Zane Lowe on Beats One and the BBC Radio in the United Kingdom, and he said it was a pretty short album. It's only 26 or 27 minutes, and then if you go on Apple Music, you'll see that there's only 10 songs. And so I'm just hoping that he really only did this vocal stuff on one song, because, you know, this, in terms of number of songs, this is their shortest album that they did since their first one. And in terms of length of time, this is the shortest album that they did since Dookie. And so I'm just really hoping that he's not singing like that the entire album. And even though I like the song musically, I'm hoping it kind of sounds more punk rock for the rest of the album, because it kind of sounds like a 70s or 80s just straight up rock and roll band for this song, which, like I said, I don't mind since I like it, but I would like to see some more diversity in the record. And I fucking hate it when bands do this. Today is September 10th. This is obviously when I'm recording it. This is when it's going to be uploaded. The album's not coming out until February 7th, which is 5 months from now. I fucking hate it when bands do that. Like, especially with an album like this where it's only 10 songs and it's less than 30 minutes. Like, given that it's on a major label, you know, they're going to be announcing, you know, they already announced one song. They're probably going to announce at least 3 more before the album comes out, and that's like half the album. And, you know, Cattle Decapitation did the same thing with their new album, but I kind of liked it more with them because they announced it in July, but it's not coming out until November. And then pre-orders for their album didn't start until last week. And they didn't announce the first song until last week either. Or they didn't officially release the first song until last week. They've been playing new songs when they toured on the Summer Slaughter Tour. But, you know, I just hate having that much of a wait between the album being announced and it actually being released. Especially since, again, like I said, Father of All Motherfuckers is such a short album. And the album cover too, Jesus fucking Christ. They have a unicorn on the front of it censoring out motherfucker. And I hate censorship, and, you know, to have them put like a bright unicorn on a generally dark album cover just looks super weird to me. And then the album cover is just like a cut down version of American Idiot. The album cover for Father of All Motherfuckers is like, it starts right here, and then it's drawn out more down here. And the album title is drawn on the arm, and then Green Day's logo, it changes with every album, and it looks like someone took like a bottle of tube paint. That's probably not the right word for it, but they took a bottle of paint and squeezed it out for their album logo, and it just looks fucking ridiculous. And Green Day has said that this album isn't really going to be political. Knowing them, there's probably going to be one song that is. But, you know, for them to use the American Idiot album cover, or at least part of it, for a new album, you would either think that it's going to be a part 2 to American Idiot or something super politically charged like that album or 21st Century Breakdown was. And judging by what they're saying, it's not going to be. So I feel like it's kind of a waste of them just reusing the American Idiot album cover. You know? And regardless of what I think of the song, you know, obviously pre-orders for the album were announced today. I jumped all over that. I got CD and vinyl. The vinyl version I got, this is the first time Green Day has done, aside from Black, multiple vinyl colorants for an album. I mean, on Revolution Radio they did black and red, but on this one they got like a pink and black merge, red and black pinwheel, which is the one that I got. And then they did one that's called Rainbow Puke, probably because of the unicorn that's on it, which is just a clear with a rainbow splatter. And then I got the red and black pinwheel because of the three vinyl variants and the CD, that was the only one that was not censored. Like even the CD didn't have a alternative uncensored version, which pissed me off. Like I said, I fucking hate censorship. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because I've been going on longer than I really even wanted to. But I guess in layman's terms, I'm excited for Green Day's new album. I'm excited to see them touring again. I'm excited to see the Interrupters. Yeah. If you watch this long, thanks for watching me talk about some shit you probably didn't care about. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video.